Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're a fan of wintry weather, then I have more good news for you because we're looking at significant snow across a fairly large part of the UK, both today, Wednesday, and then Thursday and into Friday. So we're going to look at these different risks in this video here, breaking down in detail where, when, and also why as we approach the end of this cold spell. We'll start off though looking on this graphic that I made here, which shows the general areas at risk of snow. We're going to start off by looking at the snow risk across southern England, southwest England, and into parts of southern Ireland. And that is because this risk is already developing and it actually has the potential to be fairly notable. And this is the radar image right now, and you can currently see a wall of blue kind of approaching from the southwest, and that is rain. But notice across central parts of Ireland that's now turning into pink and green, indicating snowfall. And we're starting to see a fairly nice snow band develop here. We've got that precipitation, and that's going to be moving in this general direction. If you follow the radar, you can see it's moving in this general direction over the next few hours, and so into central parts of Ireland we are looking at possibly quite significant snowfall. That's all down to this low here, and you can see it on satellite imagery, the water vapor, the green showing kind of moister air, and you can see we've got this low here moving quickly to the southeast as part of the jet stream. But you can also kind of see on the northern edge of that we've got winds kind of going in a different direction beneath that cloud shield, just kind of like that, which indicates a small secondary low that we've got just under the surface here, and that's actually helped to develop convection as part of this band. And you can see that with the colour on the kind of satellite imagery getting slightly darker, a darker green across parts of Western Ireland over the last few hours, and that's lining up with this band of precipitation. Initially was kind of thunderstorms or showers, but the latent heat release has developed its own sort of low pressure center, and that's now starting to merge with the frontal band just to the southwest. And so initially we thought the low was going to go well to the south of us, and to be honest it's kind of going in this general direction, but as the smaller low merges with this frontal band, we're going to get a fairly significant and intense band of snow across southern Ireland during overnight and into tomorrow. If we take a look at the UKV, what this might look like, you can see this is indicating by kind of now we've got that snow occurring, and then that kind of shifts to the south and brings really intense snowfall on the southern flank tomorrow morning, and that would be widely significant snowfall, 5 to 10 centimeters, as much as 30 centimeters in places. However, we're actually seeing things further north than that even, so things have trended to the north. And that we actually had a couple of models even bringing that into southern England now. And actually, I think most of the models do. I'll zoom in here on parts of southern England, British Isles. There we go. You can see there's our secondary low, showers and kind of convection that merges with the main low to the north, and we kind of get that frontal band developing. You can see them merging there, and then that possibly helps to swing the low ever so slightly further north and into southwest England. We're going to get snowfall tonight, and then possibly into the far south. But like I said, the radar is currently further north than expected, and also it looks slightly stronger than expected. So my theory is possibly this this secondary low that we've got right here is possibly more dominant and stronger than the models thought it was going to be. And that's got a couple implications. Number one, that's generally going to lead to stronger precipitation, which obviously increases the snow rate, and the snowfall is heavier, you get more snow. So I think this forecast here is slightly on the conservative side. I think a fairly large region could be seeing 10 centimeters or more. The second implication of that is also that when you have two lows and they're in close proximity to one another, or actually I don't know why I'm drawing it over there, let's draw it where it actually is. If you've got two lows in close proximity to one another, the stronger low kind of has an effect on the weaker low, in that it will pull it down to the direction of the stronger low, and that's called the Fujiwara effect, and you can see it quite often, and you can see it in this case here, that secondary low is pulled down quite nicely into the main low. Potentially though, if we get a stronger secondary low, it's very unlikely. I mean, it's not going to pull this low up. That's not going to happen. But potentially, we are looking at a slightly reduced southward turn. And I'm kind of starting to think more and more that we're going to get this blob of precipitation pushing slightly further east. So potentially, it's hard to say because the models don't really have a good idea on this, but potentially southern Wales even into parts of southern England are going to be seeing snowfall, and possibly across the southwest that's going to be significant, maybe 5 centimeters, possibly a bit more. If we take a look at some of the high resolution models, you can see still even those are too far south and probably not quite strong enough, but you can see we're potentially looking at a significant snowfall event there across the far southwest, 5 to 10 centimeters on high ground. The high-resolution French model also showing significant snowfall across the southwest, 5 to 10 centimeters widely, and you can see possibly extending into parts of the south coast. And the latest Arome, which is the high-resolution French model, the latest ensembles from that model actually show an increased probability. The kind of highest end scenario is even snow into the London area, probably nothing more than a dusting at absolute max, but we are potentially looking at central southern England into southwest England seeing a significant snow event, as well as of course Central Ireland. So these are, if I zoom in here, these are the areas at risk. I think this is basically locked in, and actually probably further north as well, even into the Dublin area we could be seeing some snow, possibly a couple centimeters, I'm not too sure, depending on how this kind of tracks. And I think that the trends are looking fairly decent, and the kind of easterly component to the precipitation band is more than I thought. So kind of updating this forecast, number one, further north, probably more snow, and also into this region here. It's annoying I can't annotate, but really this whole region is at risk of seeing falling snow, with the areas in blue possibly seeing significant snowfall, maybe even 5 centimeters or so. So I think this is starting to shape up to be a fairly significant event across the southwestern portion of the country, especially across Ireland, maybe as much as 20, absolute max 30 centimetres there, and then across the southwest, maybe 10 centimetres in some places. So that's that risk covered. We'll then talk about Northern Ireland and Scotland, and that's because that's more confident, more certain. That's the continued risk of snow showers. We've been talking about them for a while, but we are likely to see an uptick in activity once again. And that's because we've got this big low spiraling to the north of us. That's driven by the instability. We've got convection developing. And as that moves further south, that's going to impact Scotland and also to an effect Northern Ireland during Thursday and into Friday. The UKV shows that quite nicely there. If we take a look at the precipitation chart, you can see really intense, long-lived and organised snow showers forecast across both Northern Ireland and also Scotland. So you can see in terms of snow depths, same old story, a lot of snow across Scotland, perhaps as much as 60 centimetres in places, hence the purple colours on the map, widely significant snowfall across northern Scotland. Possibly also reaching further south into some more populated areas. Glasgow, possibly some accumulation there. Edinburgh, maybe, not sure. Aberdeen and those kind of areas around here across eastern Scotland, possibly a fair few centimetres. And you can see we've already got some, if the radar wants to work, I mean, there are showers. Okay, there we go. You can see we've already got some significant shower activity pushing in there, and that's the big band we're looking at for moving through tonight. So the risk for snow across the southwest, I forgot to mention, but that's generally tonight into Thursday morning, and then the risk of showers across Scotland is going to be Thursday into Friday, and that's going to shower activity will start to decrease. So that's those kind of two risks covered. Northern Ireland, the extension of the Scotland risk, showers, possibly some accumulation, but focused across high ground. Sorry. And then our attention turns to these sort of areas here. So northwest England, the Midlands, and parts of eastern England as well, North Wales too. And we can understand that risk if we look at the upper air pattern. And you can see the 500 millibar chart, which shows the general disturbances in the atmosphere, shows two features to come in the next few days. Number one on Thursday, you can see that one there, and then number two, Thursday night into Friday, and you can see that one there. Now, model uncertainty is still quite high, but I personally think we are looking at the risk of showery precipitation moving in this sort of region here, and in fact, the models have finally started agreeing with that idea. I've been thinking that for a while, but the models weren't showing it, so I think I was a bit doubtful. But you can see on the UKV here, we've got this disturbance pushing through on Thursday, tracks down those sort of areas there. You can see, where's it gone? Oh, I think I skipped ahead. Yeah, so it kind of goes through that sort of region there. So still really uncertain. I'll do an update on that tomorrow, but this region across the east of England and kind of parts of northwest England and southwest Scotland, possibly looking at a dusting to a few centimetres of snow from that risk. Now, the final risk I want to talk about is the risk of significant snow across parts of the Midlands, northwest England and North Wales, and that's associated with the first disturbance. You can see here. And that's because I think we are going to get something called a Cheshire Gap streamer tomorrow. Now, if you're not aware of what a snow streamer is, it's basically an organised band of snow showers, which essentially lead to prolonged spells of often quite heavy snow, and there can be quite significant accumulations in places. Now, in terms of the Cheshire Gap streamer, we often see this in cold northwesterlies, which is exactly what we've got. If you look at the, let's look at the GFS. The temperature chart, you can see Thursday, tomorrow, all the dark blue, that's more than cold enough for snow, and northwesterlies right into the Cheshire Gap. And the topography kind of helps to funnel the winds into a convergent zone. And convergence helps convection to develop. You get showers as the winds come together like this. And so essentially, you get a line of a line of snow showers developing in this region here. However, that's given a boost by this disturbance. You've got this kind of shortwave moving through. That rising air should kind of enable extra oomph to the storms. I said storms again, to the snow showers. And I think that could lead to a fairly significant event. Quite a lot of the models do not have a great handle on convection. But if we take a look at this model here, which I think has been doing a fairly good job of the shower activity, and you can see it develops showers into parts of northwest England and North Wales initially on Thursday. I think that's probably when they're going to start. We've got that disturbance around Thursday lunchtime, and you can see the wind becomes less slack through tomorrow, and then you can see that northwesterly. So starting around midday on Thursday, we're going to see this risk develop. And where was I? Yeah, here we go. And you can see these showers actually build up in intensity and kind of organisation quite significantly overnight Friday into Friday afternoon. And this model here is actually showing rain. This is not going to happen because if you look at the charts, I think I deleted that tab maybe. Oh, here we go. So if you look at this chart, we're generally looking for snow to be -5, and you can see widely in this region here, we're looking at -5. So I don't think precipitation type is going to be an issue. The caveat to that is the immediate coasts, this region here, probably seeing a slight reduction to the snow and maybe some sleet because of the sea moderating the air mass. But if you look on the model accumulations, you can see over time that actually does build up, and especially across parts of the Pennines, we're going to see maybe an enhancement to that snow risk, and you can see the models are coming to kind of converge on North Wales into parts of the Midlands. I think Birmingham is included in that risk, to be honest. Sheffield, parts of Manchester, East Manchester, likely to be kind of winning with the snow risk. And also, I think that's probably going to extend into parts of central southern England. In terms of accumulations, it's unlikely to be massively significant. But in the past, we've seen at least a dusting in this region. And I think all the conditions are there for a significant streamer event. We've got the upper level support, we've got the cold air, and we've got the northwesterly. So really, this whole region is at risk of seeing snow in blue and possibly significant snow. I wouldn't be surprised to see as much as 10 centimetres in some places across northwest England tomorrow. So definitely quite decent. So definitely a lot to talk about with the snow risk and multiple different types and multiple different modes. But we've actually seen a fairly decent cold spell so far across the UK. It's certainly been cold, but we've had widespread snow as well. And I made a prediction in, I think, my video on Saturday, and I said this is quite a bold statement, but I think the majority of the UK is going to see falling snow. And I mean, please comment in the comments if you've seen any. But I think a fairly large region has seen falling snow now. We saw Eastern England during today. I saw snow again in London today. But of course, this whole kind of region here saw falling snow on Tuesday. We're likely to see then falling snow again in this region, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, parts of Northern Ireland and Ireland as well. Of course, Scotland has seen a lot, and then potentially, like I said, Eastern England, and then also potentially we're going to see this region at risk again tomorrow. So overall, it's been a fairly decent cold spell, but like I said, it is now coming to an end, and we know that's going to happen on Saturday. I think I'm going to make a dedicated video to the stormy weather either tomorrow or probably on Friday, but we have one final chance for significant snowfall on Saturday, as you can see here. As that big band of precipitation pushes into the cold air, we're likely to see snow for a couple hours. Could be some accumulations, but then it will all melt away, sadly. But this is kind of the last chance, the final bang of the snow event, if you like. It's going out with a bang. But like I said, the accumulations won't be long-lasting, more than just an hour or so, though potentially a large region at risk for falling snow again on Saturday. And then we get the risk of strong winds, potentially out to sea, seeing the worst of them, and then kind of again into Sunday seeing strong winds. But by that point, take a look at the upper air temperatures, fully gone back to mild. So that's kind of the transition. Risk of snow as we go from cold to mild, but then mild from Saturday onwards. And then I'll have a separate video probably on the weekend talking about the snow or the cold potential for December and what we know right now. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you see some snow. This is going to be the risk tonight, potentially significant tonight into tomorrow. This is the risk from Thursday afternoon into Friday over here, potentially something across the Friday in eastern areas, then continuing through until Friday across Northern Ireland and Northern Scotland. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and like I said, enjoy the snow if you get any. Bye-bye.